Welcome to this channel Welding Info and CSWIP 3.1 preparation course, and thank you for watching this video. In this preparation course I will cover you every portion of CSWIP 3.1 book with the detail. For better understanding, watch all videos of this course. I hope you will be found these videos helpful. First of all, I would like to introduce myself before starting the lecture. My name is Muhammad Adil, born and brought up in Kohat, Pakistan. When I completed my 12th, I started my bachelor degree in mechanical engineering, completed in 2014. During my higher education, I am incredibly fortunate to have someone like my uncle Hafiz Anjum and my friend Mirza Muhammad Ali Beg and his younger brother Mirza Muhammad Umar Beg in my life. I couldn't have done degree in mechanical engineering without their help. Thank you so much for helping me out during these very difficult times. Your help has been invaluable to me, and I don't know how I would have managed without your help and support. And I also want to thank Bean from Vietnam for taking time out to answer my question. I appreciate you taking the time to respond to my questions. Last year I was part of a course CSWIP 3.1 and I tried to get some help from the internet. When I searched on YouTube and Google for CSWIP 3.1 preparation but found nothing. Then I decided when I pass the CSWIP exam, then I will make lectures which will cover every portion of CSWIP 3.1 book. When this course has been completed, you will have a greater understanding of CSWIP 3.1 examination. Let's move to the next slide. I am looking forward to talking with you about Introduction CSWIP 3.1. I would like to provide some background of CSWIP certification. What does CSWIP stand for? Originally, it stood for Certification Scheme for Welding Inspection Personnel. There are 4 certifications of CSWIPs. First one is CSWIP 3.0 and also known as Visual Welding Inspector. This certification is available with 2 choices. The first choice is level 1 without practical and 2 days duration for this course. This course is suitable for welders, operators, line operators, and foremen who carry out the visual examination of welding joints. It is also suitable for welding quality control staff and anyone who needs basic training in welding inspection alongside a qualification. And entry requirements for this course: there is no specific entry requirements for this course, but it is recommended that candidates have at least 6 months welding related engineering experience and 2 years industrial experience. And second choice of this certification is with practical and 4 days duration for this course. This course is also suitable for welder operators, line inspector, foremen who carries out a visual examination of welded joints. It is also suitable for welding quality control staff and anyone who needs basic training in welding inspection alongside a qualification. In addition, this course offers some practical welding knowledge to help improve your understanding of the inspection of welded products. This consists of 2 days of workshop-related activities alongside the 2 days of welding inspection ahead of the CSWIP 3.0 exam. Although there is no specific experience required, but it is recommended that candidate possesses a maximum of 6 months welding-related engineering experience. The next level, which is level 2 of CSWIP, is CSWIP 3.1. The CSWIP Welding Inspector course is designed for inspection engineers and supervisory staffs. This course will teach you the duties and responsibilities of a welding inspector, including fusion welding processes, typical weld defect, type of steels, including carbon, manganese, low alloy and stainless steel, the hardening of the steel, weld ability, heat treatments, and parent metal defects. This program also includes visual inspection, the testing of parent metals and welds, and destructive and non-destructive techniques. You will also learn about welder and procedure approvals, code and standards, and outline of safe working practices. There will also be opportunity to practice examination questions while undergoing continuous and off assessments. If you meet the CSWIP requirement for eligibility, you will be able to complete the relevant CSWIP examination on day 6 of the course. Entry requirement for this course is either welding inspector for a minimum of 3 years with experience related to the duties and responsibilities, which is listed in clause 1.2.2 of CSWIP document. If you want this document, comment below. I will send you this document on your email or WhatsApp number. Or certified visual welding inspector for a minimum 2 years with job responsibilities in the listed in 1.2.1 and 1.2.2 in the same book. And weld instructor or welding foreman supervisor for a minimum of 1 year. This is also a requirement if you have. And all experience will need to be verified by either your previous present employer. The next level, which is level 3 of CSWIP, is CSWIP 3.2 or Senior Welding Inspector. CSWIP Senior Welding Inspector course is designed for experienced welding inspector quality control staff, especially those who are proceeding to the CSWIP Senior Welding Inspector examination. It is essential that you have a knowledge of the subject covered in the CSWIP Welding Inspector course before joining the Senior Welding Inspector course. It is also advised that you do some home preparation ahead of this course, and it covers a wide range of the subject matter. It is your responsibility as an examination candidate to either hold CSWIP Welding Inspector or consider attending the CSWIP Welding Inspector course and examination prior to attend this Senior Welding Inspector course. This course will teach you about Q and QC as well as destructive testing, heat treatments, welding procedures, welding dissimilars, and residual stresses and distortion. The program will also cover weldability, weld fractures, weld repairs, welding consumable, and welding symbols. In addition, the Senior Welding Inspection course will look into non-destructive testing, specification, joint design, HSLA, and quench tempered steels, arc energy, and heat input. For the entry requirements, you must have been a certified welding inspector for minimum 2 years experience. Alternatively, you have 5-year authenticated experience related to the duties and responsibilities listed in clause 1.2.3 of CSWIP document WI 6.92, independently verified. All candidates must hold a valid CSWIP Welding Inspector certificate. The last level of CSWIP certification is Welding Quality Control Coordinates. This certification is suitable for if you work in welding inspection or as quality operator. The qualification is natural career progression for experienced inspection personnel who wish to demonstrate competence in the field of quality control management. Before enrolling on the course, you must have a knowledge of the following areas: application of the requirements of course and standards, identification of relevant material and component, knowledge of heat treatment procedures and recording systems, knowledge of hydrostatic test method, safety and best practice and pneumatic testing, awareness of destructive mechanical testing, knowledge of quality related procedure and practice, health and safety requirements and practices, knowledge of associated manufacturing processes and operation, use and application of inspection quality test plan means ITP. This course will cover planning inspection test plan, ITP, quality plan, QIP, and review and acceptance of material certification, mechanical testing reports, welding procedure qualifications, welder qualification, post-weld heat treatment reports and procedures, pressure testing reports, NDT reports, as-built drawings, engineering query, NCR reports, final certifications. This course will provide you with the relevant knowledge to progress your career in welding quality control and more. And entry requirement for this course is, in order to qualify for this course, you must hold a current valid CSWIP Senior Welding Inspector certification plus 3-year experience related to the duties and responsibilities or an international equivalent. Alternatively, you must have a current valid CSWIP Welding Inspector certification with 10 years documented experience related to the duties and responsibilities or an international equivalent. In addition, you must also have a minimum 5-year documented experience working at a position with fully responsibilities for all welding related quality control functions and including supervision of the welding inspection staff. So these are different levels of CSWIP certification. Now we should proceed to the next slide. Here I will tell you about CSWIP 3.1 exam pattern. Exam consists of 5 portions. Each paper will consist of multiple choice question MCQs. First 3 portions are theoretical and next 2 are practical. When you appear in exam, the invigilator will give you a general paper, and this portion contains 30 MCQs question. In this paper, and maximum allowed time is 45 minutes, and you have to complete general paper exam in 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, either you have completed or not the general paper, invigilator will take back general paper and gives you the second paper, which is technology. And this paper contains 60 MCQs questions. It is theoretical paper also, and maximum allowed time is 90 minutes. And you have to complete technology paper exam in 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, either you have completed or not. Invigilator will take back technology paper and give you the third paper, which is macro. This paper contains 24 MCQs question. It is also theoretical paper, and maximum allowed time is 45 minutes. And you have to complete macro paper exam in 45 minutes. 2 macro sample images will be given in paper, and you need to solve MCQs according to macro sample images. The last 2 papers are practical. 4th paper will consist different MCQs, question related defects on plate. You will measure and find different defects on plate and answer your questions. Plate portion will contain 20 questions. It is further divided into 2 portions. First 10 questions contain defects from face side of the plate and next 10 questions from root side, and the allowed time is 75 minutes. Fifth and last paper will consist different MCQs questions related defects on pipe. You will measure and find different defects on pipe and answer your questions. Pipe portion will contain 20 questions also. It is further divided into portion like plate. First 10 questions contain defects from face side of pipe and next 10 questions from root side, and total allowed time is 105 minutes. Let's move to the next slide. There are 24 modules for this complete course. The first module is typical duties of welding inspector, and in this module I will cover different topics in detail. Basic requirements for visual inspection, what are the requirements for welding inspection personnel, condition for visual inspection, stages when inspection may be required, duties before, during and after welding. Second module is term and definitions. In this module we will discuss about types of welds, types of joints, features of the completed weld, weld preparations, size of butt weld, fillet weld, welding positions, etc. Third module is welding imperfection and material inspection, and we will discuss about different type of defects like cracks, cluster porosity, linear porosity, crater, slag inclusion, flux inclusion, tungsten inclusion, lack of sidewall fusion, lack of root fusion, lack of interrun fusion, lack of root penetration. We will also discuss about imperfect shapes and dimensions like undercut, excess weld metal, excess penetration, overlap, linear misalignment, angular distortion, incomplete filled groove, root concavity, burn through, and we will also discuss about miscellaneous imperfection like stray arc, spatters, torn surface, and some additional imperfections like grinder marks, chipping marks, under flushing. Fourth module is destructive testing. In this module we will discuss about a wide range of mechanical tests and their purpose, test types, pieces and objectives, transverse tensile test, all weld tensile test, impact toughness test, harness testing, crack tip opening displacement testing, bend testing, fracture testing, and macroscopic examination. Fifth module is non-destructive testing. A welding inspector should have a working knowledge of NDT method, and in this module we will discuss about various NDT method and their differences, capabilities, and why one particular method may be chosen based on advantage and disadvantages over the other method, why we choose or don't choose a particular method for a certain material, and their potential risk is safety. Sixth module is WPS, welder qualification. Although WPS are a workshop floor document to instruct welder, welding inspector needs to be familiar with them because they will refer to them when checking that welders are working within the specified requirements. And in this module we will discuss about WPS, welder qualification, qualified welding procedure specification, welding standards for procedure qualification, the qualification process for welding procedures, relationship between a PQR and WPS, welder qualification, welding standard for welder qualification, and the qualification process for welder. Seventh module is material inspection. One of the duties of visual welding inspector is material inspection, and there are a number of situations where this will be required inspection, and in this module we will also discuss about material type and weldability, allowing elements and their effects, material traceability, material conditions and dimensions. Eighth module is code and standard. It is not necessary for an inspector to carry a range of codes and standards in the performances of his duties. Normally, the contract specification is the only document required. However, this may reference supporting codes and standards, and inspectors should know where to access these normative documents. Ninth module is welding symbols, differences in the international standards for symbols, and able to break down each element of the representation on an engineering drawing. And in this module we will discuss about symbolic representation of a welded joint on drawings, elementary welding symbols, combination of elementary symbols, supplementary symbols, position of symbols on drawings, relationship between the arrow and joint lines, position of the reference line and weld symbol, position of the continuous and dashed line, dimensioning of welds, complementary indications, indication of the welding process, welding symbols in accordance with AWS 2.4. 10th module is Introduction to Welding Processes. In this module we will discuss about productivity, heat input, welding parameters, power source characteristics, When this presentation has been completed, you will have a greater understanding of the differences in processes and their key characteristics and why we choose one over another. Our 11th module is Manual Metal Arc Welding, the most versatile welding process. MMA is suitable for most ferrous and non-ferrous metal over a wide range of thicknesses. It can be used in all positions with reasonable ease of use relatively economically. We will discuss in this module about basics, equipment requirements, power requirements, welding variables, summary of SMAW. 12th module is tungsten inert gas, which is also known as TIG welding. In this module, we will discuss about TIG process characteristics, process variables, filler wires, tungsten inclusions, crater crackings, common applications, advantages and disadvantages of this process. 13th module is MIG-MAG welding. In this module, we will discuss about MIG-MAG process variables, MIG-MAG basic equipment requirement, inspection and MIG-MAG welding, flux core arc welding, which is also known as FCAW, summary of solid wires. 14th module is submerged arc welding. In this module, we will discuss about SAW processes, fluxes, process variables, storage and care of consumables, power sources. 15th module is thermal cutting processes, and in this module we will discuss about oxy-fuel cutting, plasma arc cutting, arc air gauging, manual metal arc gauging. 16th module is welding consumable. In this module we will discuss about consumable for MMA welding, AWS A5.1 and AWS 5.5, inspection point of MMA consumable, consumable for GTAW, consumable for GMAW, and consumable for SAW. 17th module is weldability of steel. Weldability simply means the ability to be welded, and many types of weldable steel have been developed for a wide range of application. And in this module we will discuss about introduction, factors that affect weldability, hydrogen cracking, solidification cracking, laminar tearing, and weld decay. 18th module is weld repairs. When this module has been completed, you will be able to establish effective methods of repair when required and method of excavation. 19th module is residual stresses and distortion. This presentation has been completed. You should be able to identify the reason and prevention of residual stresses and distortion, developments of residual stresses, what causes distortion, the main types of distortion, factor affecting distortion, prevention by presetting, pre-bending or use of restraint, prevention by design, prevention by fabrication techniques, corrective techniques. 20 module is heat treatment. Welding inspector may need to refer to material test certificates so that to be familiar with the terminology used and have some understanding of the principles of some of the most commonly applied heat treatments. In this module, we will discuss about introduction of heat treatments, heat treatment of steels, post-weld heat treatments, post-weld heat treatment thermal cycle, heat treatment furnaces. 21st module is arc welding safety. Working in a safe manner, whether in the workshop or on-site, is an important consideration in any welding operation. Responsibility for safety is on the individual, not only for their own but also for other pupils. The Visual Welding Inspector has an important function in ensuring that safe working legislation is in place and safe working practices implemented. The inspector may be required to carry out safety audit of the welding equipment prior to welding. We will discuss about electric shocks, heats and lights, fumes, gas, noises. 22nd module is calibration, and in this module we will discuss about why we need calibration and validation to monitor and process operations, terminology of calibration, calibration frequency, instruments for calibration, calibration methods. 23rd module of this course is application and control of preheat. Preheat is the application of heat to a joint immediately prior to welding and usually applied by a cast torch or induction system, although other method can be used. And in this module we will discuss about application of preheat, control of preheat, and interpass temperature. 24th and last module this course will be gauges, and in this module we will discuss about different gauges which we use for welding inspection. So this is an outline of our CSWIP 3.1 complete course. We will cover all these modules step by step. Let's proceed to the next slide. These are also requirements you want to appear to CSWIP 3.1 exam. So before applying for CSWIP 3.1 certification, you should have these three things also. First one is photos. 2 passport size photographs with your name and signature on reverse side of the both. And the second is eye test certificates. Eye test certificates, the certificates must show near vision and color test, and 4.5 are time Roman numeral standards and verified enrollment. And the third one is form completed examination form you can print from the website www.twitraining.com or contact nearby TWI office where you are currently living. It is necessary you have to pass every portion with more than 70% marks, and if unfortunately you filled any paper and got less than 70% marks, then you have only 1 or 2 chances and for reappearing you will have to pay almost 400 to 500 pounds fee for the reappearing, and if you have failed again in the reappearing attempt, then you will take exam from the start with full fee. Proceed to the next slide. Here we will discuss about 5-year renewal. You can apply to renew your CSWIP certificate 6 months prior to your certificate expiry. For 5-year renewal, in order for the certificate to be renewed after 5 years, the holder has to demonstrate that he has maintained his competence by 2 requirements. First requirement is providing evidence of the continuous work activity in welding inspection. As a guide, reasonable continuity given 5 years period means that absence from the work for which the certificate was granted should not exceed 1 year in one or several periods. And the second requirement can be satisfied by submitting a log sheet of relevant work activity covering the period of validity of the certificate. If you do not have a CSWIP logbook, you can merchandise. Logbook only available in £90 from CSWIP website. A CSWIP logbook enables you to keep an up-to-date verified record of your work activity and continuing professional development. It is compulsory to provide this evidence in a logbook for 5 and 10 years renewals. Requesting for the renewal of CSWIP certificate, appropriate documentation should be sent to TWI Office UK. All current CSWIP certificate holders are able to also purchase a CSWIP self-inking rubber stamp. A CSWIP rubber stamp provides certificate holders with the means to publicly demonstrate their level of qualifications or relevant documentation. The stamp displays your name, candidate number, and level of qualification. CSWIP desk stamp can easily merchandise only in £37 and order on CSWIP website. If you need a link for this order form, comment below. I will give you a link of this form. And another renewal is 10-year renewal. There are 2 requirements also for this renewal. The first requirement will be same as for 5-year renewals. You have to provide evidence of continuous work activity and welding inspection. And the second requirement, you need to take exam of general portion and 1 practical portion which is plate, and you have to pass both portions, general and plate, with at least 70% marks. And I forgot to tell you about one thing about 5 years renewal. After 5-year renewal you have to pay £100, and for 10 years renewals you need to pay £400 to £500 for exam also and certification. Let's move to the next slide. I have lost my certificate ID card. What should I do? Please email TWI certification with your full name, date of birth, and brief detail, and they will look into this for you. Please note there may be some administrative charges for this, and it can be £50 to £60. So keep your certificate and ID under lock and key. So next question is, the information on my certificate is not correct. What should I do? Please email TWI certification with your full name, date of birth, and brief detail, and they will look into this for you. Please note there may be an administrative charge for this if the detail given on the certificate are the same as the enrollment form. There was a mistake in my date of birth. Here you can see the differences between 2 certificates. My original date of birth is 10 September 1990, but it was a mistake of staff member of TWI Pakistan. He wrote 9 October 1990 instead of 10 September 1990. When I received my certificate, I saw there was a mistake in my date of birth certificate. Then I contacted to Cooper, who manages certificate queries in TWI UK office, and I want to thank you to Cooper who helped me whenever I contact him. And after continuous 6-month struggles and contact, I received my certificate with a correct date of birth. But I felt disheartened due to behavior of TWI Pakistan staff. They didn't help me, even it was their clerical mistakes. So whenever sign documents in TWI office, and make sure there is no mistake in your docs. Otherwise you can face these problems, and it is very difficult to handle them. The next question is, my CSWIP Welding Inspector certificate has already expired. Can I still renew? This is depend on the length of time that has passed since your expiry date. for up to 6 months past certificate expiry date. You may be able to renew, however, you will be required to pay late renewal fees. For 6 months to 1 year, you feel you have a valid reason for missing your renewal and your application can be sent to the appeal panel. There will be a non-refundable administration charges made for this. Please contact CSWIP Certification Limited, the relevant application form if you are facing this issue. And for more than 1 year, you are unable to renew and will be required to sit the initial examination again. And the last question is, if I have a CSWIP Senior Welding Inspector certificate, do I still need to renew my CSWIP Welding Inspector? The CSWIP Senior Welding Inspector is a supplementary examination. Once you have passed a Senior Welding Inspector examination, you are no longer required to renew your Welding Inspector qualification. So this is the first lecture, and we discussed about the introduction of CSWIP. And in the next lecture, we will discuss from the first module, which is typical duties, responsibilities of welding inspectors. And if you didn't subscribe this channel so far, click on subscribe button and also click on bell icon. Whenever I upload a video, you will get a notification of every video. Thank you for watching.